and welcome to our English Learning Podcast. My name is Ella. I am your English teacher.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alex. I am learning English.
This podcast is made for beginners. We speak slowly. We speak clearly.
You only need to listen. There is no pressure.
Yes, just listen and relax. Today, we are talking about books and newspapers. These are things people read in daily life.
This topic feels calm and familiar.
That's why it is perfect for learning English. Let's start with books. A book is something people read. A book has pages. A book has words.
When I think about a book, I think about pages and stories.
Exactly. Books can be small, books can be big.
Some books are very thick.
Yes, books can tell stories. Books can give information.
Stories feel interesting. Information feels useful.
That's a very natural way to say it. Now listen to some very simple sentences. I read books.
I read books.
I like books.
I like books.
These sentences are short and clear.
They feel easy to remember.
That is exactly what beginners need. Now let's talk about newspapers. A newspaper is also something people read, but it is different from a book.
It feels more about today.
Yes, newspapers talk about news. News means new information.
Things happening now.
Exactly. Now listen carefully. I read newspapers.
I read newspapers.
I like newspapers.
I like newspapers.
I don't like newspapers.
I don't like newspapers.
Very good. Clear and natural. Now let's slow down. I read books. I like books. I read newspapers. I don't like newspapers.
Listening feels calm. No pressure at all.
That is the best way to learn. Now let's add time words. Time words tell us when we read. Common time words are every day, in the morning, in the evening, at night.
These words feel very useful.
Yes. Now listen to full sentences. I read books every day.
I read books every day.
I read newspapers in the morning.
I read newspapers in the morning.
Excellent. I read books in the evening. It helps me relax.
Evening reading feels peaceful.
In the morning, newspapers feel better.
They match the morning energy.
Books feel slow. Newspapers feel fast.
Different reading for different times.
Exactly. Let's review part 1. We talked about books. We talked about newspapers.
We used simple sentences.
We added time words.
Everything felt slow and clear.
That means you are learning well. In the next part, we will talk about types of books and reading habits.
I'm ready to continue.
Great! Take a short break and we will continue with part 2. Welcome back to our podcast. This is part 2.
It feels good to continue. The language feels familiar.
Yes, that means learning is happening. In this part, we talk about types of books and reading habits.
These ideas feel very useful.
They are useful in daily English. Books are not all the same. There are many types of books.
Different books, different experiences.
Exactly. Let's listen to some common types. Storybooks,
Storybooks,
history books,
history books,
science books,
science books,
children's books.
children's books.
Very good. All of these are books. Now let's slow down and talk about storybooks. Storybooks tell stories. They have characters. They have places.
I imagine people and places in my mind.
Yes, storybooks can feel exciting. They can feel calm. They can feel emotional.
They feel like movies in my head.
That's a beautiful description. Now let's talk about information books. Information books teach us things. They give facts. They explain ideas.
They feel serious and helpful.
Yes, history books talk about the past. Science books talk about how things work.
They help people understand the world.
Exactly. Now just listen. I read storybooks. I read history books. I read science books.
The structure stays the same.
Yes, only the words change. Now we talk about reading habits. A habit is something you do often.
Like a daily action.
Exactly. I read every day.
I read every day.
I read in the evening.
I read in the evening.
I read before sleep.
I read before sleep.
Very clear and natural. I enjoy reading in the evening. The day feels quiet.
Evening reading feels peaceful.
In the morning, newspapers feel better.
They feel fast and fresh.
Books and newspapers have different moods.
That makes sense.
Now let's combine types and habits. I read storybooks in the evening. I read newspapers in the morning.
I read storybooks in the evening. I read newspapers in the morning.
Excellent. Longer sentences, still easy. Listen to the rhythm. Storybook, evening, newspaper, morning, book, every day.
The rhythm feels natural.
That helps memory. Let's review part 2. We talked about types of books.
Storybooks, history books, science books.
We talked about reading habits.
Every day, in the evening, before sleep.
We made longer sentences.
But they still feel easy.
Exactly. In the next part, we will talk about newspapers and magazines and daily reading life.
I'm ready to continue.
Great. Take a short pause and we will continue with part 3. Welcome back. This is part 3 of our podcast.
It feels smooth to continue. Everything connects well.
Yes, we are building step by step. In this part, we talk about newspapers, magazines, and daily reading life.
These topics feel very real.
That is why they are good for practice. Let's talk more about newspapers. Newspapers talk about real life. They talk about today. They talk about what is happening now.
They feel fast and current.
Yes, Newspapers often talk about the world. They talk about cities. They talk about daily events.
I imagine people reading newspapers early in the day.
That image fits very well. Now, listen to clear and simple sentences. I read newspapers in the morning.
I read newspapers in the morning.
I like reading newspapers.
I like reading newspapers.
These sentences sound natural.
They sound like daily life.
Exactly. Now let's introduce magazines. Magazines are also things people read. They are different from newspapers.
They feel lighter and more relaxed.
Yes, magazines usually focus on one topic. For example, fashion, travel, food, sports.
Each magazine has its own feeling.
That's right. Now listen to simple sentences. I read magazines.
I read magazines.
I read travel magazines.
I read travel magazines.
I like food magazines.
I like food magazines.
Very clear and easy. Now let's slow down. Newspapers feel fast. Magazines feel relaxed. Books feel deep.
Each one has a different mood.
Yes, that helps with understanding. Now let's talk about reading in daily life. People read in many places and times. In the morning, in the evening, at home, in a coffee shop.
Reading fits into daily routines.
Yes, even a short time of reading is good.
A few pages still matter.
Exactly. I like reading newspapers in the morning. It helps me start the day.
Morning reading feels fresh.
In the evening, books feel better.
Evening reading feels calm.
Magazines feel nice on weekends.
Weekends feel slower.
Yes, slow reading for slow days.
That sounds comfortable.
Now let's combine time and reading. I read newspapers in the morning.
I read newspapers in the morning.
I read magazines on the weekend.
I read magazines on the weekend.
I read books in the evening.
I read books in the evening.
Excellent. Longer sentences, still simple. Listen to the rhythm. Morning, newspaper, evening, book, weekend, magazine.
The rhythm feels easy to remember.
That helps with English feel natural. Let's review part 3. We talked about newspapers.
News, daily life,
We talked about magazines.
travel, food, sports,
We talked about daily reading life.
morning, evening, weekend.
Everything connects clearly.
The learning feels smooth.
That is exactly what we want. In the next part, we will talk about places to read and feelings while reading.
I'm ready to continue.
Great. Take a short break and we will continue with part 4. Welcome back to our podcast. This is part 4.
It feels comfortable to continue. The language feels familiar.
Yes, that comfort helps learning. In this part, we talk about places to read and feelings while reading.
These ideas feel very natural.
Exactly. They are part of daily life. People read in many different places. Reading can happen almost anywhere. People read at home. People read in a coffee shop. People read on the bus. People read in a library.
Each place creates a different feeling.
Yes. Now let's listen to clear sentences. I read at home.
I read at home.
I read in a coffee shop.
I read in a coffee shop.
I read on the bus.
I read on the bus.
Very good. Simple and natural. Now let's talk about the library. A library is usually quiet. People go there to read and focus.
I imagine shelves full of books.
Yes, libraries are full of knowledge.
They feel calm and peaceful.
Exactly. Now let's talk about feelings. Reading creates feelings. Reading can feel relaxing. Reading can feel interesting. Reading can feel exciting. Reading can feel calm.
Different books bring different feelings.
That's right. Now listen to these sentences. Reading is relaxing.
Reading is relaxing.
Reading is interesting.
Reading is interesting.
Reading is calm.
Reading is calm.
Very clear and easy. Now just listen and connect the ideas. At home, reading feels relaxing. At home, reading feels relaxing. In a coffee shop, reading feels interesting. In a library, reading feels calm.
The meaning is easy to follow.
That is exactly what we want. I enjoy reading at home in the evening. It helps me relax after a long day.
Home feels comfortable and safe. Reading fits well there.
In a coffee shop, reading feels more lively.
I imagine soft music and warm coffee.
Yes, in a library, reading feels serious and peaceful.
Focused and calm.
Exactly. Now let's combine place and feeling. I read at home. Reading is relaxing.
I read at home. Reading is relaxing.
I read in the library. Reading is calm.
I read in the library. Reading is calm.
Excellent, clear and natural sentences. Listen to the flow. Home, book, relaxing. Library, book, calm. Coffee shop, magazine, interesting.
The rhythm feels smooth.
Yes, that rhythm helps English sound natural. Let's review part 4. We talked about places to read.
At home, in a coffee shop, in a library.
We talked about feelings while reading.
Relaxing, interesting, calm.
We combined places and feelings.
Everything feels clear and connected.
That means good progress. In the next part, we will talk about how often people read and simple opinions about reading.
I'm ready to continue.
Great! Take a short break and we will continue with part 5. Welcome back to our podcast. This is part 5.
It feels good to continue. The learning feels steady.
Yes, steady learning is strong learning. In this part, we talk about how often people read and simple opinions about reading.
These ideas feel easy to use in daily life.
Exactly. Now let's talk about frequency. Frequency means how often something happens. Common frequency words are every day, often, sometimes, not often.
These words feel very practical.
Yes. Now listen to simple sentences. I read every day.
I read every day.
I read often.
I read often.
I read sometimes.
I read sometimes.
I do not read often.
I do not read often.
Very clear and natural. Reading fits into daily life in different ways. Some people read every day. Some people read on weekends. Some people read when they have time.
Reading does not need to be long.
Exactly. Even short reading is helpful.
A few minutes still matter.
Yes, consistency is important. Now let's talk about opinions. An opinion is what you think or feel. Here are simple opinion sentences. Reading is good.
Reading is good.
Reading is useful.
Reading is useful.
Reading is enjoyable.
Reading is enjoyable.
Very natural opinions. Now just listen. Reading is good. Reading is useful. Reading is enjoyable.
The sentences feel positive.
Yes, positive language is easy to remember. I read every day, even if it is only a few pages.
Daily reading feels manageable.
Reading helps me relax and learn.
It feels good for the mind.
Newspapers help me stay informed.
Books help me slow down.
Different reading brings different benefits.
That feels very true.
Now let's combine ideas. I read every day. Reading is good.
I read every day. Reading is good.
I read sometimes. Reading is enjoyable.
I read sometimes. Reading is enjoyable.
Excellent. Simple sentences with clear meaning. Listen to the rhythm. Every day. Reading is good. Sometimes. Reading is enjoyable. Morning. Newspaper. Evening. Book.
The rhythm feels easy to follow.
That helps English feel natural. Let's review part 5. We talked about frequency.
Every day, often, sometimes.
We talked about opinions.
Good, useful, enjoyable.
We combined frequency and opinion.
Everything feels simple and clear.
That means good learning. In the next part, we will talk about reading preferences and simple comparisons.
I'm ready to continue.
Great! Take a short break and we will continue with part 6. Welcome back. This is part 6.
We are near the end now.
Yes, and this part brings everything together. Today, we talk about reading preferences, and then we finish with a slow, gentle review.
That feels like a good ending.
A preference means what someone likes more. We keep it simple. I like books.
I like books.
I like newspapers.
I like newspapers.
I like books and newspapers.
I like books and newspapers.
Very natural. Some people prefer books. Some people prefer newspapers. Listen to these sentences. I like books more.
I like books more.
I like newspapers more.
I like newspapers more.
Simple and clear.
Easy to remember.
Let's review reading places. I read at home.
I read at home.
I read in a coffee shop.
I read in a coffee shop.
I read on the bus.
I read on the bus.
These places sound very real. Now just listen. I read books at home. I read newspapers in a coffee shop. I read every day.
The sentences flow smoothly.
Yes, that flow is important. Reading does not need to be long. A few pages are enough. A short article is enough.
Small habits feel easier.
Small habits last longer.
That feels encouraging.
Now listen to a full, simple conversation. I like books. I read every day. I read at home in the evening.
I like newspapers. I read in a coffee shop. I read in the morning.
Reading feels calm and useful.
Reading feels relaxing.
Very natural English. Listen carefully. I like books. I read every day. Reading is enjoyable.
I like newspapers. I read sometimes. Reading is useful.
The structure feels clear.
Yes, clear structure builds confidence.
Now let's review everything slowly. We talked about books.
Books can be stories or learning.
We talked about newspapers.
Newspapers share daily news.
We talked about reading places.
At home, in a coffee shop, on the bus.
We talked about time.
Morning, evening, every day, sometimes.
We talked about opinions.
Reading is good. Reading is useful. Reading is enjoyable.
Excellent. You have listened to a full beginner podcast. The English was slow. The English was clear. The English was practical.
It feels comfortable and friendly.
That is the goal. Keep listening, keep reading, keep enjoying English.
Learning feels calm and possible.
Thank you for listening. This is the end of our podcast about books and newspapers. See you next time.